How about this next trailer? I don't know what it is, but how about it? Nosferatu. It's some cool script. Okay, let's see what is a new Nosferatu film.
Focus features.
Come to me. Hear my call. Come to me.
Rapid Eggers.
Professor, my dreams grow darker. Does evil come from within us? Or from beyond?
Dafoe.
He is coming.
He is coming.
He is coming to us.
Oh.
He's coming.
Who is coming to you, my child? We are here encountering the vampire. Nosferatu.
No disrespect to the filmmakers, but why and what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why? Fine. Fine. Google it and you understand what it's about. But why and what the fuck? It was already done in 1922. Why are you going to tell me the same story that you did that somebody did in 1922, remake it in 2024, and not add anything modern at all to it? It's the same old period piece. And why does there have to be so much rats? Like,
That's the real problem. Too many rodents in this damn movie.
why?
I mean,
And what the fuck?
is this a story we've seen and heard of for the last century? Yes. Will this bring anything new? I don't know. But I mean, is it bringing me a Skarsgård? Is it bringing me a Dafoe? A Lily Rose Depp? Yes, a Depp. Ralph Ineson, Nicholas Hoult. Yeah, there's some names. It's Robert Eggers, Bobby Eggers, as we've known. He's done The Witch. He did The Northman. He did The Lighthouse. So he knows Willem Dafoe. He knows some of the actors in here. I don't know. I mean, I love me a good vampire film, and this one looks like it's going to be darker. It's going to be gritty. It's going to go with the leaning into the mystical sci-fi element of Nosferatu, of the vampires. But is this just a retelling of the same story we all know? I don't know.
Yes, and the fact is, in 1922, they had a lot more leeway in telling graphic tales. It didn't look like it.
I'm sorry, they had leeway back then?
Yes, they did. It wasn't there. Okay, they could. Yes, they did. And they probably did it better. They did. Because it was.
I mean, you're talking about one of the first classic films, yes.
Yes, it was a better era of storytelling, in my opinion, because they didn't have all the bells and whistles that we have today.
They didn't have sound.
Right, in order to make films. All they had was the performances, they had a script, and they had direction, and they had light. Mm-hmm. And in a lot of cases in those films, the stories, the films were a better quality, a higher quality, because they had very little to do with a lot with. So the tales that they told were very poignant. So I feel like the 1922 version of this may not be as graphic as the 2024 version of this.
Oh, they look like a lot of blood. A lot of blood and gore.
Right. But it was probably a lot more thoughtfully graphic because of the performances. They gave it a lot more leeway. So it wasn't about the gore back then. It wasn't about blood. It wasn't about making people squeamish. It wasn't about making people want to shield their eyes because of a particularly graphic scene. It was more about people being touched and emotionally impacted by this vampire's obsession with this young woman and her haunting. So they had more leeway to tell a more graphic story using different elements of the storytelling. 2024, you can go for the cheap thrills. You know, as long as you stay within that R rating category, you can go for the gore, the blood, the this, the that, to try to get people to be like, oh my God, I'm shocked I can't watch this. Is that all that it is? Is that all it is? Why would you choose this movie to remake, number one? And number two, if you're going to remake it, is it going to be remade in the exact same way that the original one was told?
Oh, no. You're now able to give, I guess, more in-depth storytelling with a longer storytelling, expanded, more than you were before. But again, how many Nosferatus have we gotten? How many times have we heard this this story been told?
Yeah. The story is similar to a lot of different movies out there, but
what new is it going to bring rather than just like, oh, here's another one?
Right. No, literally.
Is this going to be the one, or is this going to be another one?
It's the another one of the old one that this
one has rats. Like this one has a dude eating a pigeon. I don't know. Like, is this going to stand out?
It's the newer version of the old one that we want to see, and that I think that if we watch the 1922 version, you'd probably be as a film buff, you'd probably be a bit happier with that. I know that's a wild assumption for me to make, even though I haven't seen the 1924 or the 2024 version. But there's something about classic movies, especially the classic Turner movies, that it's a quality of filmmaking that just doesn't exist today. So, if you tell me to choose between the two, instinctively, I'm going for 1922. But 2024, why did we choose this one? Why has this one had to be redone? I know Willem Dafoe is the perfect guy to be in a vampire flick. Okay, we know that.
He's the perfect guy to be in any flick.
He does that. Okay, fine. He does his job well.
Yeah, he does.
Why this movie? Why now?
What's it gonna do? What's it gonna bring? This seems like one of these movies that you're gonna wait for the critics to see and then say, is it worth your time? Like, this doesn't seem like I'm gonna be there opening night. This is gonna be like maybe a week later, after some people have seen it, after the critics have seen it, and then you hear some reviews on it and you're like, okay, yeah, it is worth your time. Or it's like, I was right, it wasn't.
Right. What's that vampire ballerina movie that just came out with Angus Cloud, Abigail? So it just feels like there was a time maybe 2 or 3 years ago where studios are like, we want vampire flicks, and they're like, hey, we can remake this old one. You give them Abigail, we're gonna remake this old one.
And it's again bases off the fact that we're going off the original Bram Stoker's Dracula book, and yes, it's a wonderful book. It's one of my favorite books. I have it somewhere on my shelf. There it is. Yeah, I have it. It's a really great story, but it's been done, and you're limited to only what the story was. Same thing with Nosferatu. Of when you're trying to remake or redo or use a similar storyline, same character, you're still limited with what you can do with it because it's already a predominantly known character. What new can you bring to it? Versus if you just said, oh, hey, there's this really strong vampire, I don't know, so-and-so is coming into town, then you can do anything the hell you want with that storyline because you're not hamstrung to the original storyline. He comes from Transylvania, and then he goes to England and fucks shit up. Like it's you're limited by that story. What new can you bring to that story? And we're going to see what Nosferatu can do. To see what it is, what can it do, what it does, are you justifying your time?
He's a vampire obsessed with a girl willing to do whatever it takes to get her, and
been there.
Anyway, fine.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I love Bobby Eggers. I love a lot of the cast. We'll see. Ralph Ineson is wonderful. Nicholas Hoult, Willem Dafoe. We get a Skarsgård in here, so we'll see. We'll see what they can do.
Bram Stoker's Dracula is the gift that keeps on giving, y'all. I mean,
Century after century, baby.
just won't quit.
Just keeps going.